Discover 3 incredible secrets to waking up early. Transform your life in just 30 days. Every morning, Main Street in the little town of Cedar Grove awoke slowly, the golden rays of the sun spilling like honey over quaint shops, filling the air with the promise of a new day. But inside Lisa's modest home, the day started not with promise, but with chaos. At 35, she was a single mother struggling under the weight of her dreams, feeling trapped between work, motherhood, and the hope of one day opening a bakery. The thought of flour-dusted countertops and warm bread fresh from the oven felt distant, almost laughable next to the scuffles she had with Alex and Mia about their misplaced shoes. Lisa scrolled through social media late into the night, often losing track of time. Each evening, her heart would tug as she saw other women sharing their beautiful mornings, breakfasts laid out with care, kids laughing over pancakes. Why couldn't she have that? By morning, she would rush through breakfast, barely able to catch a few words with her kids. "Just hurry up and we're late," echoed in their small kitchen, always tinged with frustration. Liz noticed the deep frowns forming on Mia's brows, the way Alex's laughter kept fading, replaced by uncertainty. How did it come to this? One fateful day at the diner, where she worked part-time, she met Mr. Thompson, a wise old veteran with laughter lines etched deep into his face. Over steaming cups of coffee, he spun tales of resilience and the strength he found in the military, recounting how the early risers went on to achieve great things. His warm gaze met hers, and she felt that spark ignite. Suddenly, waking early transformed in her mind from a chore into a potential remedy. What if she carved out that sacred time in the morning for her dreams? For her kids? What would it feel like to reclaim their mornings? Determined, Lisa launched a 30-day challenge, Wake Before Dawn. But soon the struggle intensified. The tiredness set in. Work shifts grew longer and emotionally draining. Her once cheerful mornings turned into short exchanges, her children isolating themselves from her, and the kitchen became a battleground of unattended plates and breakfast chaos. Each morning felt harder, her resolve wavering. Then, as the month drew near its end, it all erupted in a tearful confrontation. Alex and Mia, eyes rimmed with tears, pleaded for her not to abandon them in pursuit of a dream. Their words ripped through her heart, mirroring her own self-doubt. "Mom, we just want you here," Mia cried, and Lisa's chest tightened so painfully she thought she might burst. The weight of her aspirations felt like a stone, heavy and unforgiving, pressing against her heart. But amidst this turmoil, something shifted. She realized the dreams she held had to include Alex and Mia. They were not obstacles, they were part of her vision. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. With tears still brimming in her eyes, Lisa proposed a new morning ritual for the family, a plan to wake together, to share those quiet moments that earlier slipped through the cracks. They would make breakfast, have giggle-filled conversations, blend their dreams into a shared hope. Together, they would rise with the sun, not to chase separate dreams but to nurture the one they would create as a family. Can this new routine truly lead to her dreams for a bakery? As she looked into their eager faces, she felt excitement bubble within, a mix of hope and fear. Could she forge the life she wanted without losing the ones she cherished? The sun crept up softly, flooding the kitchen with a golden glow that danced on the walls. Lisa stirred, blinking against the bright light that gentle nudged her awake. Today was the first day of their new morning plan, and her heart raced with anticipation. She could hear Alex and Mia rustling in their rooms, the excited chatter already beginning to fill the house. With a spring in her step, Lisa pushed away the remnants of yesterday's worries and wiped the sleep from her eyes. She had prepared the night before, laying out the ingredients for their favorite pancake recipe. Flipping on the coffee machine, she felt a surge of warmth, the promise of normalcy washing over her. Their day would start differently, she vowed. Breakfast is almost ready. She called out, her voice filled with the warmth she had missed. Alex was the first to appear, his hair tousled and eyes bright. A grin stretched across his face as he caught the scent of fresh pancakes wafting through the air. "Are we really doing this, Mom?" he asked, lacing his fingers behind his head as he leaned against the kitchen counter. "Yes, we are." Lisa beamed, stirring the batter as Mia entered, her pajama shirt still tucked slightly askew. "And we need your help. Can you pour the syrup?" Mia darted to the table, her small legs moving quickly. "Can we add chocolate chips?" she asked with a glimmer of hope in her eyes. The sound of her laughter rang out, swirling through the kitchen as they prepared breakfast together. It felt like a tiny revival, a thread of connection woven in the simplicity of a meal shared. As pancakes stacked high on the plate, Lisa caught sight of the clock ticking away. The peace surrounding them hummed happily, but she could feel a whisper of dread tugging at her heart. What if life outside this moment pulled them back into chaos? That old fear crept back in the fear that her dreams might slip through her fingers again. "Okay, guys. Let's pray before we eat," Lisa said, grabbing both of their hands. As they bowed their heads, she felt their warmth envelop her, a grounding force against the whirlwind of struggle. Just then, a spark ignited again. What if every meal together was the first step towards the bakery, where they sell treats and pastries made by their hands and laughter? As they finished breakfast, Mia glanced at her mother. "Can we decorate the bakery together? Like with those pretty colors and lights?" The question hung in the air, reminding Lisa that Mia envisioned a shared future, one that included both love and talent. The thought felt exhilarating, sending buzzing electricity through her veins. "Of course. We can make it the most colorful bakery in Cedar Grove." But as the morning unfolded, the chaos of the outside world began to seep in. An unread message buzzed on Lisa's phone, and her heart sank as she read it. Work wanted her to come in early again. Why did they always need her last minute? The balance she aimed to create began to feel teetering, the nostalgia of what she built this morning under threat. "Mom, what's wrong?" Alex's voice broke through her thoughts, his brow furrowed with concern. "Nothing, sweetie. Just adjusting things in my head." She forced a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. As they wrapped up breakfast, Lisa took a deep breath, trying to silence the conflict brewing inside her. She wanted to be the mother they needed but also pave her way to the bakery she longed for. When things felt pure and uncomplicated, what happened in the world outside? Could they truly juggle their desires with the demands of life? As she glanced at her children, laughter spilling like syrup, she knew the journey ahead would be rocky. Tomorrow was another chance, another morning, and one day she hoped it wouldn't be just about rising early, but truly awakening to their dreams together. Suddenly, an idea flashed in her mind. What if they turned this chaotic struggle into an adventure? Could the family start the journey of opening the bakery together, to not just see it as Mom's dream but as their shared journey? With newfound clarity, Lisa smiled at her children, their bright faces radiating back at her like a lighthouse guiding her home. But the question remained, how could they turn messy mornings into a sweet reality, and what sacrifices would they have to make along the way? The day progressed like a soft breeze, filled with playful laughter and the sweet scent of memories in the making. Lisa watched as her children, filled with their youthful zeal, darted around the kitchen, their excitement palpable. They bounced ideas off each other about the bakery, imagining flavors and decorations that could transform a simple shop into a vibrant hub of joy. "Mom, can we make a berry pancake special?" Mia suggested, her eyes wide with enthusiasm. "And mint chocolate cupcakes, too." "Absolutely. The bakery will have all your favorites," Lisa responded, her heart swelling with love and determination. As they cleaned up their breakfast, Lisa found herself daydreaming about the bakery, her hands wiping down the table, but her mind spiraling into a world of colorful frosting and cheerful customers. The morning had been reassuring, but now the clock's persistent ticking brought her back to reality. She still had messages to send, emails to answer, and her employer's demands loomed heavy over her heart. "Okay, kiddos, I need to take care of some things for work," Lisa announced, trying to keep her voice upbeat. "You can help me by cleaning up here, all right?" Alex nodded, but there was that flicker of disappointment in his eyes. Mia let out a little sigh. "But Mom, we wanted to plan the bakery stuff together." "I know," Lisa said, her voice softening. "And we will. Promise. Just let me get past this work stuff, and I'll be all yours, okay?" As she sank into a chair to respond to yet another urgent email, something within her continued to churn. It wasn't just about the bakery. It was about them, connecting as a family, finding joy in the moments they had together. She could feel that familiar knot of anxiety tightening in her chest as she typed. The email sent, another message chimed in. This time, it was a notification from a local community center about an upcoming business workshop focused on small enterprises. Lisa's heart raced. Could this be the sign she had been waiting for? She imagined attending with Alex and Mia, planning the bakery around their family dreams and inspirations. "Guys! Look!" Lisa called, her excitement bubbling forth. "There's a workshop on starting a small business. I think this could help us with our bakery." Both of her children rushed over, their previous disappointment forgotten. "Can we go? Can we, please?" Alex almost bounced on his feet. "Of course. We'll learn a lot together," Lisa smiled, feeling the weight of possibility lift her spirits. But the nagging worry returned. The workshop was in the evening, after her regular job hours. Could she ensure everything else was manageable? What if she had to choose between her job and the dreams she wanted for her family? "What if I can't make it work?" she whispered to herself, hesitant uncertainty flooding her thoughts. "You're worried again, huh?" Alex's voice cut through her internal struggle. "Just thinking about how to balance everything," Lisa replied quietly. Before she could process it any further, Mia tugged at her sleeve, a serious look on her face. "Mom, if we want to make this bakery thing happen, we need to make it a priority. All of us." Overwhelmed by the profound simplicity of Mia's words, Lisa recognized the truth behind them. This effort was about building dreams as a family. But did that mean sacrificing security for adventure? As they gathered around the table again, discussing more ideas, Lisa felt the swirl of emotions inside her, the pull between practicality and passion. She may be standing at a crossroads, but she also felt hope shimmering on the horizon, nudging her to take that leap. Could this be the moment they truly transformed their chaos into something beautiful? The clock continued to tick, filled with uncertainty and promise. What if they realized the dream together, but at what cost? Would she dare to take that chance? The next morning dawned brighter than Lisa expected, the sunlight filtering through the kitchen window and casting a warm glow over the table where the kids were already seated, enthusiastically planning their day. Excitement buzzed in the air as they recalled the workshop they had talked about, its potential igniting dreams within them. "Mom, can we practice our bakery presentation later?" Mia asked, a bright smile lighting up her face. "Yeah. We could even make some samples to show people what we want to sell," Alex chimed in, his voice filled with energy. Lisa felt her heart flutter at their enthusiasm. "That sounds like a fantastic idea. But remember, we need to keep it simple so we don't get overwhelmed." "Amazing. We can do fruit tarts and maybe those cupcakes," Mia suggested, trying to contain her excitement with a serious look that couldn't quite reach her eyes. "I love that. But we should pick just one, so we don't run out of time." Lisa smiled, fully invested in their plans. "The workshop is our main goal today, after all." Just then, the familiar sound of her phone chimed. It was another email, filled with demands and deadlines from her job. The momentary joy dissipated, replaced by the heaviness she had grown accustomed to. She sighed, glancing at her children who were still engrossed in their plans. "What's wrong, Mom?" Alex asked, catching her sigh. You look all serious. Lisa hesitated. Just some work stuff I need to manage. It's nothing, she said, trying to push away the worries clouding her mind. Maybe you should make that into the bakery theme. Mia suggested. Like serious scones. That sounds funny. Lisa chuckled, grateful for the humor that could break through her anxiety. That's a great idea. They shared a light moment, but underneath, Lisa felt the weight of another looming decision. If the workshop went well, it could be a turning point for their bakery dream. But if her work continued pulling her in different directions, what would this ambition cost them? Would she have to sacrifice precious time with her children along the way? After breakfast, as they prepared for the day, Lisa gathered her notes and the essentials for the workshop. Okay, ready for some family business adventures? She called to her kids, trying to reinvigorate their spirits. Ready. They shouted in unison, determination shining in their eyes. They arrived at the community center, and Lisa could feel the energy of creativity buzzing all around her. Families, aspiring chefs, and entrepreneurs all looking to chase their dreams. The air was thick with anticipation, and for the first time in weeks, Lisa felt a glimmer of hope. As they took their seats, a friendly man approached, introducing himself as the instructor. Today, we're going to uncover the basics of starting your dream business and the common pitfalls to avoid. His enthusiasm was contagious, rekindling the fire in Lisa's heart. Halfway through the workshop, as Lisa listened intently, she noticed a hand raised in the audience. What if your family doesn't support your dream? Someone asked, their voice filled with worry. The instructor paused, looking down, then back up with a reassuring smile. That's a real concern. Building a business is tough. But the right support, your family, friends, can be your strength. Lisa sat back, stunned. The answer felt like it was meant just for her. The question echoed in her mind, could she muster the courage to ask for the support she needed? To let her family into this dream fully, with all its uncertainties. As the workshop concluded, Lisa felt the weight of the world shift slightly in her favor. But doubts still nagged at her, whispering their fears. Mom, do you think we can make our bakery happen? Mia asked, her innocent question pulling Lisa from her thoughts. More than ever, Lisa replied, her voice steady. Yet, inside, she felt the stirring of yet another dilemma. What if the support she needed meant taking more risks than she was ready for? But then another question struck her, what if this journey, no matter how daunting, could bind their family closer together? As they stepped outside, looking at one another, determination lit their faces. Now they stood at another precipice, each step forward a choice. With the looming uncertainties and hopes ahead, how far would they push for their dreams? Would they be brave enough to leap together? The cool breeze welcomed them as they stepped outside, the sky stretching out in a bright blue canvas above. Lisa looked at her children, their faces flushed with excitement, and felt a warm push of hope. She cherished this moment, but a heavy weight still sat on her chest. Let us not just stand here. We have work to do, she declared, trying to shake off her worries. Mia and Alex nodded eagerly, ready to dive into their creative process. Arriving back home, they gathered their supplies, flour, sugar, fresh fruits, and cupcake liners. As they began to mix ingredients and measure portions, the kitchen filled with laughter and the promise of sweetness. Can I crack the eggs? Alex begged with a grin. Just be careful, please. Lisa replied, handing him the eggs and feeling a flicker of joy at his enthusiasm. The kitchen had transformed into their baking sanctuary, a space where dreams could rise like dough. While they worked, Lisa couldn't help but glance at the corner where her laptop was still open to that waiting email, each ding a reminder of what loomed over her. It pulled at her focus like an anchor. She quickly dismissed the thought. Today was about them. Mom, look. I made a big mess. Alex exclaimed with flour dusting his cheeks, hands splayed with sticky batter. Lisa laughed, the kind of laugh that transforms stress into lightness. Mess means you're having fun. We all know messy bakers make the best treats. Mia, her fingers deftly arranging fruit slices, turned her head. Will we actually sell these? If we do, we could get real customers, right? Her question hung in the air. Of course, Lisa answered, more hopeful than certain. But it'll take work, and we'll need to figure out lots of things first. The excitement shifted slightly as the weight of reality seeped back in. The dream felt tangible yet distant, the baking almost an escape from the uncertain future. Would this family endeavor bring happiness? Or would it pull them apart? Can we name our bakery? Mia asked, her eyes gleaming. Great idea. Lisa encouraged. What about Sweet Dreams Bakery? Alex wrinkled his nose. Sounds too sleepy. Let's think of something more fun. Mia jumped in, how about Family Flower Power? Lisa loved it. A warm feeling blossomed in her chest. I think that's perfect. It's full of energy, just like you two. As they immersed themselves in baking, a new idea began to take root. Could they incorporate their workshop experiences into their family bakery? Lessons learned could become the foundation they built upon. What if they shared their journey, the bumps and triumphs, through social media or a blog? Such ideas whirled in Lisa's mind, lighting up her spirit. It could allow them to connect with others, gather support, and build a community around their dream. But would that mean taking risks she was hesitant to embrace? The timer rang, pulling Lisa from her thoughts. Cupcakes are ready. They hovered over the oven, divine smells wafting up, filling the room with warmth. Their first creation sparkled with promise, and Lisa felt a rush of joy flood her heart. What if they taste amazing? She said with a chuckle, turning to see her children's eager faces. Let us find out. They both yelled in unison. Taking the first bite, laughter filled the kitchen as they tried to hide their delight. Yummy! Alex exclaimed, eyes wide. Mia beamed with pride, we made these. In that rush of sweetness and laughter, Lisa found the courage she needed. Let us create our own path. Together. But as the kitchen buzzed with merriment, another thought lingered, what would the world think of their bakery? Would they embrace their family venture? Deep down, amidst all the joy, Lisa felt her heartbeat quicken, uncertainty swirling just beneath the surface. What would it mean to truly put themselves out there? As the sun began to dip, casting a golden glow through the window, a quiet determination set in. Each cupcake was a step forward, a promise of more to come. With a blend of excitement and fear, they were on the brink of something great. But the real challenge had yet to unfold. Would they have the strength to navigate the highs and lows of their baking journey? As the last rays of sun painted the kitchen with a warm glow, Lisa felt the magic of the moment linger. Their cupcakes were a hit both with taste and the shared laughter that echoed around them. She glanced at her children, their small faces smeared with frosting and joy. In that instant, doubts flickered like shadows, but they were chased away by the bright, spontaneous happiness radiating from Mia and Alex. Can we make more tomorrow, Mom? Alex asked, already planning their next baking adventure. Absolutely. Maybe we can experiment with some new flavors. Lisa suggested, her heart soaring at the thought. The idea ignited a spark of creativity in her. Maybe they could bond over different recipes from around the world. Mia chimed in, her eyes wide with enthusiasm. How about an exotic cupcake? Like mango or coconut? Or chocolate peanut butter? Alex countered, a mischievous grin on his face. Picturing their kitchen bustling with even more energy, Lisa laughed, feeling hope seep back into her. But just as the laughter peaked, that unsettling email drifted back into her mind. It was a notification she had deliberately ignored all day but now loomed larger than ever. Mom. Earth to Mom. Mia waved her hands playfully, breaking through Lisa's thoughts. Lisa blinked back tears that formed unexpectedly and put on a smile. I'm sorry, sweetie. Just thinking about tomorrow. And the bakery. Alex reminded her, bouncing slightly on his toes. Right, the bakery. Lisa replied, a determined glint entering her eyes. Perhaps sharing their journey with the world could bring the support she needed. The phone buzzed again on the counter, the screen illuminating with flashes of the email is here. She felt the squeeze of anxiety in her chest. Lisa took a deep breath, pulling herself together. Let's do some brainstorming for our bakery promotion. If we document everything, we can make it even more fun. People love stories, she declared, trying to harness her sights on the silver linings. The kids crowded closer, curiosity sparkling in their eyes. What do you mean? Mia asked. Lisa began to bounce ideas off them. We could film our baking sessions. Share our favorite recipes and maybe even set up an interactive challenge for our followers. That sounds awesome. Like a cupcake quest. Alex shouted, throwing his arms up in excitement. That's it. Mia agreed. And at the end, we can have real customers taste our treats. A rush of warmth filled Lisa's heart as she watched them light up, their eyes dancing with fascination. But even as excitement buzzed in the room, uncertainty lingered behind her smile. What if no one cared? What if they failed? She quickly pushed the thoughts aside. This was about more than them, it was about creating something together, a representation of their family. One that would capture not just sweets, but the spirit of resilience and hope. Okay, we'll start with a simple video tomorrow. Lisa declared, her voice brimming with newfound conviction. Can I be the camera guy? Alex asked, already imagining himself behind the lens. And I can help with the editing. Mia added, her enthusiasm palpable. As they discussed the details, a sense of purpose filled the kitchen, pushing the lurking doubts back into the dark corners. Just then, Lisa's phone buzzed once more, a reminder of the email still waiting. She hesitated, a deep yearning gripping her that went beyond cupcakes and customers. Okay, let us wrap this up. Time for bed, she said. But as they began to clean, she felt her resolve strengthen. Tomorrow would be a new start, a leap of faith to share their journey. Yet, somewhere deep inside, the truth of how hard this could be still remained. Could their venture really gain traction? With lingering thoughts swirling, she felt her heart race as she glanced out at the stars beginning to dot the deepening sky. The warmth of hope and dread intertwined, leaving her in a swirl of emotions. What awaited them on this uncharted path? Would their journey into the world of baking bring them closer, or test their bond in ways they couldn't yet foresee? Morning light spilled into the kitchen, awakening Lisa to the promise of a new day. The scent of fresh coffee filled the air, mingling with the faint aroma of vanilla from last night's baking adventure. She blinked away the remnants of sleep and glanced at the clock. Today was the day. Mia and Alex stirred in their rooms, their dreams likely filled with sprinkles and the thrill of recording their baking efforts. Lisa couldn't help but smile, her heart swelling with excitement. She had barely slept, her mind spiraling with ideas and plans to document their journey. As she set out the ingredients, she slipped a quick glance at her phone. The email reminder still sat there, a digital weight resting heavily in her mind. But the anticipation of the day ahead nudged her to push it aside at least for now. Good morning, Mom. Mia's voice broke through her thoughts, followed closely by Alex, who rushed into the kitchen with bedhead and a toothy grin. Ready to bake? Lisa asked, trying to match their energy, though part of her anxiety clung on tight. More than ready. Can I pick the cupcake flavor? Alex asked, already rifling through their ingredients. Sure. Let us go with that chocolate peanut butter you suggested last night. Lisa replied, her enthusiasm building. It felt good to have something tangible to focus on. Mia, bouncing on her toes, quickly grabbed the flour and sugar. I'll set up the camera for our first video. Lisa guided her kids through the motions, each step of the recipe instilling a sense of teamwork. Measuring, mixing, and laughing together filled the kitchen with warmth. With the camera rolling, Alex narrated their process, his voice innocent and bright as he described each ingredient. Mia interjected with playful comments, her laughter ringing out like music. "There are no rules in cupcake quests," she declared dramatically. The moment felt sacred, a triangle of unwavering bond solidifying around them. And yet, even as they baked, a flicker of doubt whispered in Lisa's ear. What if they shared their story, and no one cared? What if this moment of joy was just a fleeting dream? Another buzzing sound from her phone pulled her away from the joy of the moment. She caught a glimpse of the dreaded email notification peeking out. It felt like a chain around her neck, heavy with the potential for failure. "Mom, you okay?" Mia asked, her brow furrowing with concern as she noticed the shift in Lisa's expression. "Yeah, I'm good." Lisa smiled reassuringly, but the knot in her stomach tightened. "Let us focus on our cupcakes. That's what today is all about." They continued baking, but the shadow of the email loomed larger. The mixture of joy and dread coexisted like oil and water in her heart. Would this venture bring them together or test them in unanticipated ways? Once the cupcakes were in the oven, Mia and Alex danced around the kitchen, chattering excitedly about their plans for the video. They were enthusiastic. They had dreams. And Lisa felt so grateful to share this journey with them, even as her heart quaked with uncertainty. When the timer dinged and they pulled out the warm, golden cupcakes, the sweet smell enveloped them, igniting a rush of bliss. They hovered around the cooling rack, anticipation bubbling in the air, when suddenly, Lisa's phone buzzed once more. It was that email again, and this time it felt louder than ever. She began, reaching for the phone, but Mia interrupted. "Let us decorate them before we film. It'll be awesome." With heart racing and breath catching in her throat, Lisa faced a choice. Would she open that email now, when it felt like everything could fall apart in an instant? Or would she immerse herself completely in this moment, sharing laughter and frosting with her kids? The choice loomed over her, just as the camera stood ready, capturing a slice of life that could change everything. Would she take the leap and trust in their adventure, or let fear hold her back? As she studied her children's eager faces, the question echoed in her mind. The journey had begun, but would she risk everything for the possibility of something greater? And just as she was about to decide, her heart raced faster, a whispering thought, what was truly at stake here? Lisa hesitated, her fingers hovering over the screen. Should she check the email or stay present in this moment? The sight of her kids' excitement was a grounding force against the whirlwind of anxiety brewing inside her. Their laughter floated through the kitchen, a melody of innocence, hope, and love. "Okay, let us get to decorating," she declared, making a conscious decision to resist the pull of her phone. It felt like the right choice, a little victory against her inner doubts. Mia had set out a rainbow of frosting colors, each more vibrant than the last, and Alex was already squeezing pastel blues and yellows onto the cupcakes with great delight. "Look, Mom. I made a smiley face." He beamed, pointing proudly at his creation. Lisa felt warmth spread through her chest, brightening the shadows of uncertainty. "Great job, buddy. You're a cupcake artist." She cheered, her voice full of encouragement. As they decorated, the kitchen transformed into their very own workshop. Colors swirled together, and laughter punctuated the air, obliterating the hovering tension. They were creating something beautiful together, each cupcake a small token of their shared adventure. Lisa stepped back for a moment, taking in the chaos mixed with joy. Here, in this simple act of baking, was the magic her heart had longed for. "Should we record a taste test?" Mia suggested, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Yes. Let us see whose cupcake is the best." Alex chimed in, clearly thrilled at the thought of competition. Retreating to gather some plates and a fork, Lisa felt an edge of anxiety slip away. The notion of sharing this experience with the world began to unfold, she envisioned people finding joy and inspiration from what they created together. What if they could reach others? What if this was the beginning of something truly special? Once everything was set for the video, Lisa found herself behind the camera, ready to capture their excitement. Mia took the lead, her voice bright and confident as she introduced their culinary adventure. Hi everyone. Welcome to our kitchen. Today, we are baking the best cupcakes ever. Lisa couldn't help but smile. The way her kids embraced this moment snatched away the remnants of doubt that lingered. They were joyful, free, and utterly captivating. The cupcakes, now adorned with gooey frosting and colorful sprinkles, looked almost too good to eat. Okay, time for the taste test, she declared, raising her fork. The kids cheered and grabbed their decorated creations eagerly. Tension tightened again when Lisa caught herself glancing at her phone. The email notification still gleamed, waiting patiently for her. A part of her still simmered with unease. Would the decision to delay a response haunt her later? With her back turned to the phone, she watched Alex bite into his cupcake, his eyes widening in delight. This is amazing, he yelled, frosting smeared across his cheek. Mia followed suit, and her giggle erupted like a spark of joy. It's cupcake magic. Lisa's heart lifted. In that instant, she felt a profound connection to her kids, a reminder of what truly mattered. She wanted to bask in this happiness, to let it wash away all worries about the future. But even as the laughter filled the room, the email lingered, a ghost of what was yet to come. Mom, try mine. Alex waved his cupcake, grinning proudly. Okay, okay. She laughed, leaning down to meet his eager gaze. Just as her lips touched the sugary confection, her phone buzzed again. This time, the sound sliced through her bliss like a knife, leaving a chasm of unease behind. Maybe just a quick look, she thought, the internal battle reigniting, as her heart thundered in her chest. But was this fleeting moment of joy worth risking everything for? Amidst the frosting and warmth, uncertainty lurked, wrapping around Lisa like a second skin. As she savored the sweet flavors, her heart raced with a question more pressing than the rest. If she didn't confront her fears now, would she ever truly embrace the possibilities ahead? And just as the laughter rang out again, she found herself faced with a decision that could change everything. The phone buzzed again, its insistent vibration drawing Lisa's gaze once more. She blinked through the sugary haze around her, torn between the delightful scene in front of her and the nagging pull of her device. What could be so urgent that it demanded her attention right now? Mom, hurry. Mia urged, her cupcake smeared with colorful frosting and her whole face lit up with joy. We're ready for you. Everyone's eyes were on her, filled with excitement and anticipation. That moment full of laughter, shadows of flour, and the sweet scent of vanilla felt infinitely more important than whatever awaited her online. She swallowed hard, forcing her heart to slow. Just one taste, then I'll check, she promised herself, leaning down to indulge in Alex's delightfully decorated cupcake. The flavors burst in her mouth, the smooth sweetness clung to her tongue, releasing delightful memories of simpler times. This is truly something special, she exclaimed, her heart feeling light again. Alex beamed with pride, and in that moment, everything else melted into the background. The kids laughed and chatted, their playful banter wrapping around her like a warm blanket. Occasionally, though, her eyes darted back to the phone, an undeniable temptation lurking. But with every giggle from Alex and Mia, those electronic pangs dimmed. Why don't we send this video to Grandma? She'd love it, Lisa proposed, stoking the fire of connection between them. Alex's eyes lit up. Yes. Grandma loves cupcakes. As they set out to record another segment, Lisa's tension softened. They made goofy faces, twirled with their creations, and shared heartfelt cheers to the best cupcake makers in the world. Laughter echoed through the kitchen, bright and contagious. Just like that, she felt a shift. It wasn't just about cupcakes anymore, it was about moments. But in the midst of this joy, uncertainty still hovered. What news awaited her? The thought sent shivers down her spine. Was it bad? Would it change everything? She could feel the ticking clock of responsibility in the back of her mind, each ring taunting her with its urgency. Finally, after the multiple recorded takes, the kitchen became a battleground of flour and cream. They gathered around the table, their little pieces of art laid out like showcases of creativity. "All right, who is going to be the judge?" Lisa asked, smiling at her kids as she handed them tiny trophies, a playful twist in their decorating contest. "I am!" shouted Alex, raising his cupcake like it was a golden goblet. "Wait!" Mia piped up. "Mom should be the judge. She's the best cupcake chef." The suggestion warmed Lisa's heart. There it was, the comfort of being a mom, the feeling of pride that swirled as sweetly as the frosting smeared on their lips. She felt more certain now, even though the impending worry nestled beneath the surface. Just as she began to settle into the warmth of their laughter took a brief pause. Alex looked to her, curiosity lighting his little face. "What's wrong, Mom? You look like you're thinking of something sad. Is it the phone?" Lisa took a deep breath, the innocence of his gaze striking her deep. "I'm just thinking about what's ahead. I guess I'm a little worried." The kids exchanged glances. The innocence in their eyes demanded her honesty. "Can we face it together?" Mia asked softly. The sincerity of their question struck her. She realized, in that moment, the email didn't have to overshadow the beauty around her. The phone buzzed once more, persistent and demanding. Then something inside her shifted. Why was she letting it steal her joy? She picked it up and paused, feeling the weight of choice in her hand. Should she surrender to the fate of that email now, or keep basking in their laughter and magic a little longer? In that moment of indecision, everything hung in the air, waiting for her answer, as she glanced back at her jubilant kids. What would she choose? With a mix of fears and courage, Lisa finally made a decision that could reshape their very future. With a decisive breath, Lisa placed the phone back on the counter, the email waiting in silence. "You know what? We're living in the moment right now," she declared, her heart swelling with determination. "Let us focus on us." "Oh yes!" Mia cheered, jumping up and clapping her hands. The enthusiasm ignited around the kitchen, lifting the shadows of anxiety that had clouded Lisa's mind. "All right, let us pick our favorite cupcakes, and I want you both to tell me why they are the best." As they each held up a cupcake, the laughter danced again, replacing hesitation with excitement. "Mine has the most frosting because more is always better." Alex beamed. "Mine has the cutest sprinkles." Mia giggled, twirling a sprinkle jar like it was a trophy. With joy sparkling in her eyes, Lisa took both of their hands. "These cupcakes are perfect, just like you both. You make everything sweeter just by being here." Their faces lit up, and for the first time in what felt like ages, Lisa felt liberated from her burdens. Here was the gold tucked in tiny moments of pure, raw joy. After a few more rounds of playful arguments over whose cupcake was supreme, Lisa suggested they share their masterpieces with the world. "Let us post a video of our fun and yummy creations. It'll be perfect for our bakery journey." "Yay! A cupcake party!" Alex exclaimed, and Mia added, with a sprinkle of love. The thought of putting themselves out there overwhelmed Lisa, but in the spirit of her children's unwavering excitement, she found her resolve strengthening. Maybe it was worth it. Sharing their simple joys could cultivate a community that thrived on togetherness. As Mia set the camera for the video, Lisa gathered her thoughts. She remembered the instructor's words from the workshop about not facing dreams alone, and suddenly, the looming uncertainties seemed smaller. The kitchen was their canvas, each cupcake a stroke of their evolving masterpiece. "Hey, everyone!" Lisa started, feeling the warmth of her children's gaze intensifying her confidence. "Welcome back to our kitchen, where we combine fun and flavors into the most epic treats. Today, we made cupcakes together. With Alex and Mia chiming in enthusiastically, they described how they created each unique treat. Lisa watched their faces light up, her heart soaring. "Now, it's time for a taste test." "Here we go," Lisa said, as they all reached for their cupcakes with giddy anticipation, their laughter filming a celebration of love. The phone buzzed again, but this time, it held a sense of irrelevance. She was present, living the reality she had always craved, a reality where they dreamed and worked together. After filming, they sank into a cozy corner of the kitchen, tasting their creations and getting caught up in each other's joy. They shared dreams, sipping hot cocoa amidst sweet crumbs and overflowed icing. "Mom, can I name a cupcake after Grandma?" Mia asked, her eyes sparkling. "Of course. Grandma would love that." "What about the cookies and cream dream cupcake?" Alex suggested. Envisioning a new flavor for their future bakery brought another wave of delight crashing in. "No." Mia giggled. "It should be more fun like the cran peanut butter cupquake." "Cupquake." Lisa laughed, the joy spilling over. In that light-hearted banter, Lisa felt the weight of that email lift completely. This was what life was about, sharing dreams, laughter, and flavors that blended into memories. Hours later, the kitchen was aglow with the afternoon sun, their laughter resonating like a familiar song. The doorbell rang unexpected and loud. "Who could that be?" Mia exclaimed, her eyes widening in surprise. Lisa opened the door, and standing on the porch was their neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, intrigued by the scent wafting from their home. "What a lovely smell. I just had to come see what you've got cooking." She beamed, her eyes sparkling with warmth. Without hesitation, Mia bounced forward. "Cupcakes. Come try them. We're making our own bakery." The invitation flowed effortlessly, and Mrs. Henderson accepted. As she stepped in and savored a cupcake, the room vibrated with another layer of connection. "This is delicious. You must share these with everyone in the neighborhood. You have to sell them." Her praise wrapped around them like a warm hug, nurturing the children's excitement. "Might we just do that?" Lisa responded softly, glancing at her kids who were bouncing with joy. Together, they exchanged ideas, laughter cascading through their home. Lisa realized that her worries weren't just whispers of pain, they were shadows cast away by the glowing light of this newfound community. Suddenly, the phone buzzed again, but this time she deliberately ignored it. "Can we really be a bakery, Mom?" Alex asked, his eyes reflecting hopeful possibility. "Absolutely. We'll figure it out together as a family, starting today." Her heart raced excitedly. In that very moment, Lisa felt transformed. Her bakery dream now intertwined with a family journey, and that shared experience wouldn't just nourish their dreams but connect them to something bigger, a community that lived and thrived through the love they baked together. Morning chaos had turned to an afternoon of promise, a promise that their journey would be filled with obstacles, laughter, cupcakes, and most importantly, each other. As they basked in the sunlight with smiles that stretched from heart to heart, Lisa finally felt free, embracing the journey ahead, knowing she would face whatever shadows lurked, not alone but as a family. Together they would rise, just like their cupcakes. Now, it's your turn. This is the moment to show your support. Subscribe immediately to our channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that inspire and uplift. Leave a like now to boost our reach and feed the algorithm. Comment your reactions and feelings about this ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Only true fans truly understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions. Let us keep this journey alive together.